Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all their brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick, little one and a quick edifying show through the Spirit. The key thing is edification for this particular subject, because it is kind of, I was just walking the dog and sometimes the Spirit just hits. So I don't really do morning shows, but this one I have to do because just kind of hit, And, it's a simple subject. And we was going over at camp, at camp and at the end of camp. And is what was mentioned at the end of camp is what inspired this particular show. So at camp, we was going into pretty much, matter of fact, let me just start. Isaiah 34 and 17. Matter of fact, I started 16. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. What is the book of the Lord? The scriptures. All right. This is the manuscript. Oh, that's a good one. This is the manuscript. This is the instruction. Proverbs, the first chapter, tell you this is the book of instructions. All right. So this is our goal. This is our source. Okay. That goes for everybody on earth. This is supposed to be their source. And the only people that's supposed to be able to break this source down, to break this code, is the people of the Lord. All right. Mainly the elect. Matter of fact, before I get to the other thing, because this is what comes to mind. Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Let's see. 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me. So this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. This is the instruction. This is what he gave. All right. The statutes, judgments is the law of the scriptures. This is a very key point. Not anybody can access this, but overall, all man is gonna keep these to the not to their best ability. All man is gonna have to keep it in the kingdom of heaven, or die. Right? The only people that have to go through this trial and tribulation is the people of the Lord, those that was given the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, they had to go through what I like to call the human experience before they ascend to the next level. And that next level is in the kingdom, when the laws and statutes are going to be in our inward thought. All right. It says that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So that right there set the tone for us as a people. That's why when you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, you walk around, and like we had a guy at the end of camp, he sees the picture of Caesar, and he agrees, but he said it doesn't matter. And we was going, not even going back and forth. With a few sentences, a few lines that was coming out of his mouth, he showed who he was. He was a demon. He said, it doesn't matter what the color of the Lord is, going tit for tat. And we can't fault the man, because we was talking about it all day, that this knowledge is not given to everybody, even amongst the people of the Lord. All right. Now let me go back to Isaiah 34. I don't want to lose my thing. Isaiah 34 and 16, right? Still. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. None of these shall fail. What is that? Speaking of none of these shall fail? The prophecies, things that were said before time. All right, things that said before time is the key to everything. That's what proves the validity of the scriptures. So that basically nobody can say that it wasn't spoken or the Lord doesn't exist. Because he spoke about this thousands of years ago, before anything that went down. Talking about the MOTB, the fall of America, the fall of everything, and the rising and the ascending of his people. It says, none shall want her mate, meaning you cannot match this. You cannot put this together with any other book, because the key ingredients is prophecy. Now you have these, which I'm gonna get into too. These guys that's that try to break this thing down. They break it down wrong, and they're trying to say, oh, it's not talking about different books or this, that, to the third. Why are they not able to handle it? Because the spirit is not dealing with them. And this is a key ingredient. And now this was kind of hitting me when I was walking the dog. Right? For my mouth have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them. Who's a them? The elect which is gonna go into. So he had cast the lot for them, and his hand have divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. So this is the set tone that the Lord has created, meaning men that in the beginning, the scriptures talk about the men that was predestined, the elect that was with the Lord from the beginning. All right, the first fruits. And so the Lord was giving us clues. And one of the main people that I was thinking about was Solomon. Now, the question, I don't even know how to truly ask the question, because I already knew the answer, but it's just like, how should I ask the question? Why did the Lord granted Solomon so much wisdom? Now, let's go into this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 8. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily. Sweetly she doeth, she ordered all things. I love her. I sought her out from my youth. So the key thing was Solomon saying that when he was young, he wasn't concerned about the things of the world. And this will remind me of Isaac as well. Because when Isaac, he was mourning his mother, he was in the tent. Jacob was also. And when you go to Jacob was a plain man, doesn't mean Jacob was just your average looking guy. It means that Jacob was more in tune with the spirit. All right. So the very foundation of Abraham as well. And we was talking about the pillars at camp, and all these pillars had something in common. They were pillars for a reason. They all seek out the Lord. They all was seeking out the Lord, right? So Solomon basically said that since he was young, in his youth, he was seeking out wisdom. It says, I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty, and that she is converted with me. She might magnify her nobility. Yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her, for she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of the Most High, and a lover of his works. If riches be possession to be desired, and this life which is richer than wisdom, that worketh all things, and if prudence work, who of all there is more cunning workman than she? If a man love righteousness, her laborers are virtuous, for she teacheth tempest and prudence, justice, fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. So he seeked out wisdom. He knew the basic things, how a man should conduct himself. So when Moses said what he said, this is the law, statutes, and commandments, that once you do them, that basically the nations will see and seek. And the prime example was Solomon. Solomon was that example of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And having such great wisdom. Now, why did the Lord allow Solomon all this greatness? Was it because Solomon was a random person? No. Solomon was granted access to his true self. All right. And I was thinking about that. I was like, yo, that makes logical sense. Because the Lord is not going to grant no ordinary person on earth anything. Let me get this real quick. It says, 2 Ezra 7. I always bring this out. 25, right? Is it 25? Oh. Yes. And therefore, Esdras, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are full things. And Solomon was a prime example of something that was full on. Right? Solomon was granted wisdom and great understanding on the highest degree that no man ever could access. Except for who? Who surpassed Solomon? So, let me go back to, now I want to go to Wisdom of Solomon, because I don't want to make this too long. The 7th chapter. I could start at 1, but let me go to 16. For in his hands are both we and our words, all wisdom also, knowledge of the workmanship, which is Yahawashi, which also, if Solomon was granted wisdom, who granted him that wisdom? Proving that the Lord, Yahweh, and Yahawashi, once again, are two different people. Solomon, the Lord came as Solomon, and he was granted access to him, a key access to himself. And I'm going to prove it real quick, just real quick. And it says, for you have given me certain knowledge of things that are namely to know how the world was made, an operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, and midst of times. So the beginning, ending, and the midst of time. So he knew all the prophecies that was going to be fulfilled. Solomon saw every single thing that was going to happen. All right. The Lord opened up his mind on a level that no man, which we know on earth, could know. It says, the alteration of turning of the sun and the change of season, the circuits of years, the position of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the furious of wild beasts, the violence of winds, and the reasons of men. The reasonings of men, meaning what's in a man's mind, why a man thinks, and the diversities of plants and virtues of roots. Then I did a show through the Spirit, find a video, basically that each plant has its own song, and it tells you that Solomon was able to speak to them. So he was access to all living things. He had access to everything that the Lord created. All right. It says, for all such things all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know. So this set the tone to everything, which is going to go into more stuff, but I just wanted to, that's the tone. All right. Let me get to this one real quick. Second Chronicles 1:12. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee. Matter of fact, yeah, this is but Lord talking to Solomon, the Most High talking to Solomon. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor such as none of the kings have had that have been before thee, neither shall there any after thee have the like. So no king after Solomon, except for one king, which is proved that Solomon was the Lord. All right, and let me get that real quick, because ultimately, I really wanted to go into, well, matter of fact, let me get that. Let me just get that one I'm thinking of. Get everything out the way. Okay. This is a Lily. Let me see. What's Matthew's 7th chapter or 6th chapter? Let me just get that. Yep. Wow. No, this is not the one I was looking for. But this is let's see. What's a precept to that? The Lord Himself is King of the Queen of the South. Let's go there. Should be it. Might be the 10th chapter. 12. So that was close. All right. Matthew's 12 and 39. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it but the sign of Jonah, the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Then it said, the men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas, and behold, a greater than Jonas is here. So he was basically, when there's another, but I'm not gonna get it. When the Lord took James, John, and Peter, and the Lord Yahawashi sent a chariot and told and bigged up his son to them, said, this is my beloved son, him thou shalt, he's well pleased with him. Because the transfiguration, and who was a part of that transfiguration? Moses and Elijah. Okay? Moses is known in the scriptures as the lawgiver. Elijah is the prophet. All right? And when Peter, John, and James saw the 2 other individuals, they fell in their face. They knew from the jump, like, this is a unique, special thing. But what was the Lord what was the Most High telling them? Like, look, this guy is greater than Moses and Elijah. Okay? So, right here, again, the Lord's saying, look, I'm greater than Jonas. And it says, the Queen of the South shall rise up in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. So how is it the Lord saying, look, I'm greater than Solomon? Because he was Solomon. And he was granted access to the heavens. All right? He was granted access to his true self when he was doing what he was supposed to do. This is why the scripture says, I always bring this out, Hebrews 12 and 2. It says, looking unto Yahawashi, the author. So the author is the beginning, or the beginner, right? And the finisher of our faith. So the Lord's lot always been the same. always been the same. And he was granted access to his self when he was Solomon for a brief for a moment, because he had to set the tone for everything that's going down here on the earth. This is why all Israel, Apostle Paul was talking about it, the Hellenist thing was started by Jake. All right, everything that is on the earth today in its beginning, in its infant stage, was started by us, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why? Because we're granted access to the heavens. When the Lord gave the law, statutes, and commandments to the children of Israel, yes, it was for them to keep it and to be perfect, but knowing that they wasn't perfect. This is what Scripture says about let me go into that real quick. It's a lot of stuff because I was thinking about this particular scripture. Hopefully I'm right. Genesis 15:3. All right, Genesis 15:3. And Abram said, Behold, to me that has given me no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir. We're talking about, if you go into history, his servant name was Eleazar, which means Alazar, which means Yahweh, or the Most High helps, the help of the Most High, right? But he shall come forth out of thy bowels, and shall be thine heir, which is talking about Isaac, not Ishmael. Though Ishmael was born out of the bowels of Abraham, he wasn't the promise. He wasn't that guy. He brought me forth abroad and said, Look now towards heaven, and tell the stars if be able to number them, and said unto him, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in the Lord, and counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur the Chaldees, to give thee in this land to inherit. And he said, Lord Yahweh, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take mine heifer of 3 years old, and a she goat of 3 year old, and ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove of a pigeon. Let me see. It goes into the prophecy, but it's something I'm particularly looking for. Let me see. All right, let me see. Thy seed shall be. Yep. There it is. And this is prophetic. This proves that we are the children of Israel. If not, who else? It says, it's two of them actually. I'm going to read both of them. Genesis 26:4. And I will multiply thy seed to the multitude. I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and shall give unto thy seed in all these countries, and thy seed shall in all these nations of the earth be blessed, which is the blessing, right? It says, Genesis 28:14, and thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, to the east, to the north, and to the south. in thy seed, and in thee and thy seed shall in all families of the earth be blessed. So the Lord, that basically, every tone that was set on earth was started by Israel, and that proves it. Because not every nation is the seed of Abraham. The Catholic Church will tell you that BS, but a seed comes from a man. All right? And we know the lineage that the Lord was only dealing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the royal bloodline. So that royal bloodline, which was going to be scattered abroad throughout the whole four corners of the earth, was going to set a tone to get everything going. Basically, technology, music, everything that you could think of as helpful for man and the progress of the earth was set in tone by the children of Israel. All right? And you could clearly see that when it says what Deuteronomy 7:6 tells you that the seed of, matter of fact, let me get that. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thine holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Meaning that proves right then and there that the Lord only picked Israel. We're a special people. We're above everybody. All right? The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. So the Lord, because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. So what was that oath? That oath was going back to Abraham. Now let's go back to this real quick. So the Lord granted Solomon greater knowledge than anybody because he comes from that royal line, and he was the Lord himself. All right, real quick, I love this scripture to prove it more. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 21. I saw that one. No, I'm sorry, it's 24. Wisdom shall praise herself, and shall glory in the midst of her people. What is, once again, the basic? What is the wisdom? The law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Once you are in tune with the Spirit of the Lord, you're granted access. If you are of the elect, you are granted access to the heavens. You are granted access to all knowledge on earth. That's a lot that was granted. With scripture, matter of fact, I said it. I kind of jumped ahead, but it is what it is. I'm just going with the flow. It says, Daniel's 12:3. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So every level is like we're accessing more and more closer to the Most High. This is why a lot of guys out there, a lot of these different camps, they fall short. Why? Because they was not granted this unlimited access. That's why you always got to look at Yahawashi. Yahawashi is the perfect tone setter. All right, he's the perfect one. This is why all the stuff I just read, what Solomon said that he was granted, and Solomon was not perfect. So Solomon was not perfect himself, but he was granted all this great wisdom. Why? Because he was Yahawashi, and Yahawashi was not perfected until he became his true self, Yahawashi. So we all, at our Lord willing, our perfect stage. All right. It says knowledge shall be increased. So that's why you have technology. Now we have access to something. It is something else real quick. keep saying this. 1 Timothy 5, is it 5? 14. Oh, sorry, 4:14. It says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, which was said before. Those that are full shall be full. Scriptures also tell you that them that are wicked, let them be wicked still. That are righteous, let them be righteous still. Righteousness is not just yes, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, but it's more in tune with the Spirit, which you granted wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, by the prophecy with laying on the hands of the Presbyterian, which are the elders. That's why we being pushed consistently to do shows, to do certain things, to think. We was going over Daniel's the 8th chapter yesterday, which a lot of us knew, but it's good to freshen up on a lot of things. Why? Because it's in us. All right? And it's not easily accepted. Because a lot of people, a lot of different individuals came into this thing and they faltered because it was never grounded. So we Lord wanted men of good ground, being good grounded, because this is a gift that the Lord gave us from the beginning of time. All right, and it says, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all, which is what? The manifestation of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Yahawashi. All right, it says, take heed unto thyself and to the doctrine, which is what? The apostles' doctrine. People have a problem with that, but it says it in the scriptures. Acts, I believe the 2nd chapter, that the church was open and they all believed in, they followed the apostles' doctrine. The apostles' doctrine is Yahawashi's doctrine. And it says, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. All right, so we're granted this gift because we are allotted this gift. Let me go back to this because I want to prove a point. It says, Sirach 24:2. All right, and the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth, and the trumpet, and trumpet before his power. I come out of the mouth of the Most High, and cover the earth as a cloud. It's not talking about actual wisdom. It's talking about Yahawashi. This is why Yahawashi, I know, it said it this, boom. St. John 17, I believe it's 8. St. John 17:4. It says, I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou givest me to do. This is the work. Which let me finish this off. This is the work, right? It says, I dwell in the high places, and my throne is in the cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven, and walked in the bottom of the depth. In the waves of the sea, and all the earth, and every people, nation, I've got a possession. With all these things I sought rest, which he created everything. He sought rest, which scripture says, the Sabbath wasn't made for man. Man wasn't made for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man. Because on the 7th day, the Lord stopped creation. The angels, Yahawashi and the angels stopped everything. They was done. Now give it rest. This was a shadow for men, for he could rest. And whose inheritance should I abide? So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment. He made me cause my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel. So this where the cycle of Yahawashi begun. He came as Adam, and he came as different individuals, right? He created me from the beginning, before the world, and I shall never fail. The never fail part is what? This St. John 17 and 4 again. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou hast given me to do. That was the never failed. His mission. He wasn't talking about that particular time of his mission. He's talking about overall his life cycles. Right? Proving that there's reincarnation. Back to this, it says, in the holy tabernacle I served him before. I served before him, that was established in Zion. And so he's basically saying like he was always there from the beginning with the Lord. Right? Let's tell you St. John's the 1st chapter. And it says, back in St. John's 17:5 now. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. So, before the world existed, he was always on the right-hand side of the Most High. He had to go through the cycle. Alright? It is not far-fetched. So this is why as Solomon, he was granted so much great wisdom. Because he already had this wisdom. He had access to that. The Lord opened up that which he knew. So it was nothing new. Alright? The Lord that proves, man, that this is all predestined. Everything is predestined. It tells you that. You know? Through the Spirit of the Lord, everything's predestined. Everything is granted to those that fear and love Yahawashi. Because that fear, love, is a gift. Alright? Like the scripture says, is a gift given to the faithful. In the womb to the faithful. So it's something that came to my mind. I don't know why I'm going to name this, but don't want any of your brothers to edify. Don't want to confuse nobody. But when you analyze and you think of Solomon and you think of the Lord, the comparisons, and the Lord said that he was greater than Solomon. If somebody said he's greater than Solomon, matter of fact, let me get to this real quick. Matthew's 28. I haven't read this in a while. So that, let's see, all the stuff that he did, that it can be written in a book. Yeah, I know it's 28. Was it this? Was it Matthew's? I'm just going to quote it because I'm pressed for time. But the Lord said, that the book, scripture said that all the things that the Lord did couldn't be written in the book. So he was greater than Solomon. And Solomon, I just read a couple of things that Solomon did. He knew the rotations, positioning of the stars, and so forth. So if he know that access, and he was greater than what he knew, you know, so we have a chance, man. And the Lord he's the set trender. And that's the man that we must admire, to inspire to be. And that was the purpose of the Lord. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.